Whoa, hey, it's me guys, live with a little animation that's actually right here. So if you guys have anything that you want to ask, this is considered a very casual thing. You can see I'm wearing a hoodie. I'm not wearing a dress shirt or anything. This is very much just you and me, guys, in which we talk about the performance of the Sony mirrorless cameras in different resolutions and how it works for us in terms of different clients. I do want to give a shout out to the guys at Rode for designing this little lifesaver here. Very long battery life, like 5 hours or something like that, and very easy to hook up and get going without having to search for frequencies. It automatically detects, but it is on wireless 2.4 gigahertz, so who knows, you might hear some cutouts. So anyway, today we're going to be talking about what I discovered about the new Sony a6600 that I rented over the holiday, and now I'm finally in March actually sharing what I discovered, right? So over the holiday, I rented a6600 and realized that it has amazing battery life with the new FZ100 batteries and also flip screen and blah, blah, unlimited recording, all that great stuff. But in the end, it's about image quality, right? What you deliver to your clients. And one of the things that I love shooting is 60p, and my clients love shooting 60p as well. And the only resolution that you could shoot that in is in 1080p. And a lot of clients just tell me to shoot in 1080p. This is me subcontracting, by the way, and delivering the footage. But the problem is that for a little while now, past couple of generations, the Sony mirrorless A7 series and A6000 series suck in 1080p. So when you do switch to 60p from 4K, it just sucks. And here's another caveat. Have you guys shot for a news network before, really old school in their workflow, who haven't moved to UHD, Ultra HD 4K yet, that want you to shoot and deliver in 1080p, like raw files? They get mad when you give them 4K images, even though I feel that that is giving the TV networks the better deal. No, they get pissed off. They get pissed off at you. Now, first I'm going to show you the GH5 and how it handles 1080p versus 4K. Then I'm going to show you the previous generation of A6000 camera, the A6500, and how that performs in 4K versus Ultra HD as I play this and give my random commentary. Okay, so this is playing back now. This is in my backyard. I guess we're kind of, invading the privacy of my backyard neighbor. Anyway, so 1080p and UHD. If you look close enough, you will notice a difference. I know on the stream it might be a hard thing to see, but it's not that big of a difference. You could chalk that up to resolution, right? So that is 1080p done right by a mirrorless, in my opinion. Now here is the A6500, and if you zoom in enough, you'll see a big difference between the two. And it just looks like absolute crap once we zoom in. Look at the leaves and the branches. It's horrific, absolutely horrific. Like, what happened on the right? Did someone smudge grease all over the lens or something? I don't know. What happened? What happened, Sony? Do you not want to have good 1080p? Okay, this is 1080p of GH5, 200% zoom, and the 1080p of A6500, 200% zoom. Look at that stark difference. You can see frickin' detail, no sharpening added, and play this again. Okay, so this is GH5 1080p versus Ultra HD within the same camera. Pardon the weird color. I was getting creative with LUTs, so can't really see that big of a difference. Once again, zooming in, not that huge of a difference. A little softer on the 1080p side, but negligible, right? And also encoding wise, I'm just letting these sit on screen a little bit longer so that whatever, keyframe macro blockiness can clear up. So here is the A6500. If you're looking on a small screen, it's not that big of a difference. But if you zoom in 200%, what the hell happened to the little sparkly bits and the thin bits on the 1080p image? I mean, that's night and day. Basically, I think it's just vomit-inducing, like how bad the A6500 does in 1080p. There you have GH5. You can see all the details. It's just lower resolution. That's it. Maybe it's not super duper sharp, like, I don't know, a C100 in 1080p, but it does a pretty damn good job, in my humble opinion. IMHO. So my hope was, after living with the A6500 for a couple of years, that we would actually see a grand improvement when they finally released the next number up, which is the A6600. I was hoping to get the better battery life, the unlimited recording, the lack of overheating, plus improved 1080p or 4K 60. I have the footage tested from the A6600. All right, so this is my shelf full of nerd stuff. And Ultra HD versus 1080p, 200% zoom, it still sucks. It might be a little hard to see here. So yeah, here it is, A6500 versus A6600. No improvement. There's a little bit of focus searching on this A6600, so pardon that. So hopefully you're able to watch in 4K that link I just put into the chat, and we'll also put into the description later. Okay, so that pretty much just kind of says right there that there has been no improvement. But some people are going to ask me, is like, what is that really important? In fact, I mean, why would clients ask for this if they don't notice the difference? Well, I am here to prove to clients that there is a big difference moving down from 4K to full HD on these cameras, and I implore that you accept 4K files from us, or maybe ask for another camera if you absolutely want 60p. Oh yeah, that's true, Trevor. So if you're overheating at 4K 24, you can't do 4K 60. Well, I think there's some improvement with the A6600 with its temperature control, or at least, I guess power efficiency or something. So I'm hoping that 4K 60 could be a reality. Now, why can the GH5 do this and not the Sonys? Well, probably because the bodies are much smaller and less cooling or something. I don't know, I'm just coming up with crap. Anyway, so back to what I was saying, which is trying to prove to all you clients out there that accept 4K out of my Sony cameras, all right? If you're asking for Sony because you want color matching or whatever for your post-production, shoot in 4K. Absolutely. Okay, here are my real world tests, which I'll talk over really annoyingly. And here we go. I'm going to play it back. And actually, I would love to hear from you guys what you see as I play this back here. Whether you're able to obviously see the difference or not. All right, here we go. All right, so real life tests of in Northern California. So A6600 is on all of these. Now on the left, Ultra HD. Oh, pardon the handheld nature of this. I just wanted to roll as long as possible for you guys. Yeah, okay, but when I zoom into 200, the difference should be pretty stark, especially when you look at the standalone video that's not live stream. It's pretty bad. Oh my god, this street details, actually absolutely horrible. Maggiano's here in Northern California. You can see so much detail on the left Ultra HD side, but what the heck happens? Especially look at the cocktails thing, little whatever overhang. It's horrible. And over here is my family playing out on the park, and I thought, oh hey, there's detail in the background. Let's do this. Well, that power line is like, what's happening? It's becoming translucent or something. Apart from the exposure difference, I actually used different picture profiles. I was testing different picture profiles. Oh my god, this is a big one right here. So in 1080p, actually, if you don't look very closely, if you're watching on an iPhone screen, it's not that bad. But when you zoom in, oh my goodness, world of difference. Nice and tack sharp on the right, horrific on the left. But I suppose it's acceptable to some. Okay, now if you could zoom in on this one, you could see a definite difference. By the way, those fish are older than me. Those metal fish are older than me. My parents have had this in their family for a while. I don't know, I think my dad got it from Art Fest. Anyway, look at the tile detail over there. And there's a cross-section line in which you could see, it looks like the tiles on the left are blurrier, or like not as detailed. But no, they're the same tiles. What the hell? What the heck? Do you want this in your professional work? Okay, Trevor just commented, I think 4K in the Sony is down samples 5.7K. But for the 1080, I bet they're using the whole sensor and just turns to mush. Yes, I absolutely bet. They, yeah, they are just pixel binning or averaging, or actually, you know what? It's some weird pixel binning plus dithering action going on. And I'm just going to keep on playing this his control video just so people can see the difference as they're watching, so you don't have to just look at my face the whole time. I don't know what they do with the GH5s versus the Sony, but the processing is way better, you know, or however they select which pixels to use for 1080p. And they can't use every single bit of detail going from a 24 megapixel camera to 1080, which is like, I don't know, what is that, 8 megapixels or something? So sure, there's a lot of work to happen, but if you are taunting video capabilities, I would want it to work a little bit better. Honestly, guys, seriously, why isn't it better? Look at that. That's mush. That looks like, it's like someone peed on the lens. You know, okay, maybe it would be a little bit more yellow if that happened. But no, it looks a little bit like something happened to the lens when you go to 1080p. Okay? Yeah? Now look at that big difference. Look at that big difference. Seriously. Okay, granted, it's a little bit more high contrasty on the left, but just look at the details. Seriously. People, I want to know if I'm just kind of being a little bit of a ranter here, you know, a troll or something about the performance of the Sony cameras in 1080p. Maybe it works out for some people, and maybe the networks just don't care. Or have people actually deliver 1080p from these mirrorless cameras to clients who asked for 1080p on a Sony mirrorless and had some comments like, why does this look like crap? Have you guys had that kind of experience? Now that's why I've been shooting with the GH5 a whole lot more, because there are, sometimes I don't know until I show up on the shoot day that they want to shoot in 1080p instead of the best the cameras could do these days, which is 4K. And I know on the GH5 that in 1080p, whether they want me 1080p 60, 4K 60, whatever, they're getting the best that the resolution format can give them. I just want them to hire me again, instead of them going like, oh my God, that footage looks like crap, I'm never hiring them again, even though it's exactly what I asked for. A7 III is not bad in 1080p, but it actually has more noise. So there's something happening. Something happening, man. I don't know. They're just cutting corners on 1080p, even though, you know, the users of Sony cameras are a lot of times broadcasts. And then when broadcast wants to be able to go on the field with producers with smaller cameras instead of the big FS7s, you know, they're trying to do something a little bit more covert or something, they will ask for Sony still to match the colors, even though I think there's better cameras for color. And then, so we will be stuck with using these cameras at some point in our working career. That actually concludes what I wanted to talk about here. So if you want more of these live kind of streams, please subscribe if you want to see more videos in general, because I also do produce videos, but simple stuff like this I want to talk about. I don't want to, you know, have a whole edited thing and with intro and outro for something simple like how bad is 1080p. Anyway, subscribe and like this video, maybe. Yeah, YouTube content is hard, man. Thank you for recognizing that, Trevor. Yeah, I'm not even sure if I'm disciplined enough. But anyway, also today actually I released a Mevo Start review part 2 if you're interested into live streaming and want an easier way to live stream. This setup that I have right now is using OBS and Camlink. So it is, you know, it's kind of, as long as you're okay using a laptop, it's pretty good. Thanks for joining, everybody. Thanks for listening to my ranting about Sony. But Sony, I still love you. I tell this because I love you. I want you to get better. I want you to sell more cameras. In fact, I welcome you to throw a lot of cameras at me to test.